show where he brings you a variety of independent music you've never heard before, but artists you should definitely support because they grinding with a purpose and they got great quality music. And you'll be hearing more of that throughout all our shows here on Simply United Radio, WSUT as well, all right? So right now I want to get into some news that you can use. A lot of people call in and say that's their favorite part of the show, people in the chat as well. So now I'm going to give you some news that you can use.
Your attention, please. This is an important announcement.
Now, any of the subjects that you hear tonight on the show, you always can call in, and the phone lines are always open, 404-641-9606. Once again, that's 404-641-9606. Let me get into a great story tonight, something real positive tonight as well. So, Google. What do you think Google and Howard University have in common? Well, Google has partnered with Howard University to launch a program that will give undergraduate students the opportunity to learn from Google engineers along with the university's own faculty. The new campus, called Howard West, is now the centerpiece of Google's effort to recruit more black software engineers from historically black colleges. I'm sorry, once again, I got people calling in. It's 446419606. Sorry about that, y'all. The phone lines are not open yet. So let me get back to the story. All right, so Google has partnered with Howard University to launch a program that will give undergraduate students the opportunity to learn from Google engineers along with the university's own faculty. The new campus, called Howard West, is now the centerpiece of Google's effort to recruit more black software engineers from historically black colleges and universities. Bonita Stewart says Google's VP of Global Partnership, who is also a Howard graduate, kudos. According to The Verge, juniors and seniors in Howard's computer science program will be able to study at Howard West for a 3-month period. The university says students will receive a generous stipend to cover housing and other expenses in Silicon Valley. That's really dope, y'all. Which will be paid for Howard and private donors. Students will also earn school credit, and this program is acceptance-based and will accept somewhere between 25 to 30 students this summer, with the figure increasing in the future. It will also expand to other HBCUs. And quote, Howard West will produce hundreds of industry-ready black computer science graduates, future leaders with the power to transform the global technology space into a stronger, more accurate reflection of the world around us. And that was from Howard University's president, Wayne A.I. Frederick. And he said that in his statement. So that's kudos to Google and Howard University. That's a dope situation. And I had to say, they should have, Fortune 500 companies should have been doing this with HBCUs. So much talent that runs through the HBCUs period that get overlooked because some students are not able to continue to afford to go to HBCUs because HBCUs are on the increase and on like for real. And so some kids are not able to stick out all them 4 years and they end up transferring to maybe a small PWI or local state funded schools because it gets expensive and so they get unrecognized. But needless to say, this is opportunity and that's something positive. So kudos again to Google and Howard University for coming up with that. Another story was funny for all my Uber passengers and Uber drivers. The Uber president resigns after 6 months after taking a position. This is interesting. He was also the chief financial officer for Target. I'm gonna get into this story though. The last month has pretty much been hard for Uber. So hard the company's new president couldn't take it anymore. After serving his post for only 6 months, Jeff Jones, the president of the rideshare company, has resigned. Jones, he joined Uber in September after leaving Target, which he was the chief marketing officer. I'm sorry, not the chief financial, but the chief marketing officer. The details surrounding Jones' departure have not been made public, but sources say it's directly related to the company's recent controversies. In a statement to Recode.net, Jones says it is now clear, however, that the beliefs and approach to leadership that have guided my career are inconsistent with what I saw and experienced at Uber, and I can no longer continue as president of the ride-sharing business. Wow. So, yeah, the Uber CEO, president design, that's interesting. Wow. You know, and they got, for those who don't understand, they got caught up in this whole, Trump thing. Trump is, needless to say, anything that Trump touches goes bad, goes sour. I was having a great discussion about this earlier, about Trump, and I've never fully stated my views, partial views about Trump, but some of the things that Trump has tried to implement or wants to implement makes sense, and that's some on the other hand are just outrageous. But he moves like a businessman. Some of the decisions are irrational, or some of the decisions are good for what he would consider business, and sometimes doesn't have more implications. And I think that's what we have to realize, that who we have in president is not a person who's held public office, more so who's held positions or who's been a entrepreneur / mogul / businessman. So you have to understand what we're dealing with. And I think that once you understand that, I think that may help you be more understanding. And not say you got to accept it, but at least be more understanding, because I mean, how much energy can we keep giving this man to the point we get blindsided by what's going on in the world? Some things that he's implemented, and some things is just going on that we're not talking about. So, another story. So, remember last week, I reported a story about the guy from the play for the Miami Dolphins, and his name was Maserati Rick. Well, and he posted it. It was all on Facebook and social media. Again, social media. I keep telling y'all, social media is the devil. But this story was about the guy came out. He was responding and saying that why do black athletes marry white women? And he went on to say black women are this and that and blah, blah, blah. Well, come to find out that this guy is not even a Miami Dolphin, let alone even plays in the NFL. According to Black Sports Online, the catfish story began in 2014. Ricardo Maserati Rick Agnew somehow finessed his way into the NFL Regional Combine at the Dolphins training camp. Despite having never played football in college, in fact, there's no record that he even attended college. I mean, this dude is like Trump. But it goes on to say the Agnew then used that one day at the NFL Combine in 2014 and turned into years of catfishing people into thinking he played for the Dolphins. And in 2014, Agnew posted a photo of what appeared to be him signing a contract with the Dolphins, but he heavily filtered the photo so that you couldn't tell it wasn't him. In fact, every photo of him on the field and in uniform is highly filtered or purposely done not to show the number. Agnew even had Lyndon Trail of the Washington Redskins fooled. Trail referred to him as a colleague in a subsequent Facebook post, and apparently had no idea he was being catfished. Wow. So, yeah, so he's been out here, fronting. So, ladies, be careful. I don't know what to say about this one. And I want to get into another quick story. And phone lines are open. Phone lines are open. 40464. Well, phone lines are now open. 404-641-9606. And, I had to read. So when I pulled up this, just to go back to what I was starting to show off with about the black girls missing and how the inaccurateness of the story. There was also somebody was trying to put something out here saying that there was a cargo container of young black women found at the port in Savannah, and they were about to be shipped overseas. And somebody quoted said, "Who's covering this up? Our young black women are being stolen from us and sold for sex trafficking. This is another form of slavery. God bless us all. Please keep your loved ones safe." And then somebody, of course, put copy and paste, and so therefore this was why it's going around circulating social media. So once again, please be careful what you read and see on social media. I mean, I don't get it. Be mindful. More news. I'm going to get into. So, now he's a friend of the organization, and I feel some kind of way about Steve Harvey. I wanted to award him with Coon of the Week to share it with Mike Epps' ex-wife, Michelle Epps, but I really want your opinion on this. So on Wednesday, Steve Harvey, for some reason, feels like he's the spokesperson for most of Black America. He went into this rant about T.I. and Snoop, about how they've been so vocal against Trump. And so here's some words from Steve Harvey. And he quote, "Where we have to be smart about this when it pertains to the president, young brothers, and the people who are the truth tellers is the way that they were bended and twisted. Here's the problem. If something happens, do you get brought in as a copycat version, or the reason that spurred the action? Because there's some idiot that's sitting at his house that's willing to carry this out, and you don't want to be tied to that," Harvey said. So that's referring to the somewhat of an image of, supposed to be a fictional image of Donald Trump, and Snoop was supposed to be shooting into some craziness. So Steve Harvey trying to explain how crazy and detrimental this is, and how it could be somebody could act out on this. And I don't think nobody is taking political influence from Snoop and saying that's going to motivate me to, Snoop gunned down Trump on some music video, that's going to go make me do it. I think they'd probably be upset at Trump for numerous other things than Snoop inspiring them. I think Snoop inspires people to get high and enjoy life, and I don't think that nobody's going to take Snoop as being the next Black Panther leader. So, Steve Harvey, calm down. But Harvey also explained that as an artist, Snoop has the right to express himself, though he must be careful when criticizing the President of the United States. Remember that. The problem with all this, that there is an office in the country called the President. This is a quote from Harvey. And you have to respect the office. You really do. Whether you want to or not, you have to respect the office. They got laws. I would hate for anything to come down, Harvey said. Wow. So I guess Steve Harvey at some point forgot that this little small thing called the, freedom of speech, Bill of Rights, I guess somewhere in the Bill of Rights, I guess it say on the freedom of speech, you can't say anything about the president. I didn't see that stipulation, but okay. He also addressed Bow Wow tweets in which the former rapper suggested selling Melina into prostitution. I think that was a little too far, but I mean, Bow Wow has been an idiot for a long time, so it's like, what do you expect of him? I mean, really. And quote again from Steve Harvey, he said, "You start messing around with this man's wife, who ain't in this at all. The hell that comes across, the hell that comes down." Wait, I'm trying to read what he said. Hold on. "The hell that comes down with messing with this man's family is great. Y'all got to be smart, man." And that's what Steve Harvey said about that. So, well, we already know some form of fashion that Steve Harvey is a Trump supporter, and we all remember he was one of the first persons